Hello, and welcome to another episode where I, Alice Hannah, talk to you about the main characters from my book, The Head, the Heart, and the Air. This week we're talking about the last of the main group of characters, which is Lady Jessica Waffner. After that we'll be moving on and talking more about the parents and the older generation of characters, like King Emeric and Edward and Ginevra and Victoria and the sorcerer, the older generation of sorcerers, and that sort of thing. So today is our final of our happy little main group, and that is Lady Jessica Waffner. Now, Jessica, at the beginning of book 1, is 17 years old. She is born on October 13th, and she was born in the kingdom of Dayton to her father Jerome and her mother Gwendolyn. She is one of 7 children born, and she is the oldest of the girls. So Stefan is the oldest of the family. Then they had a brother between them. I think his name was Ryan. And then it was Jessica, followed by the 4 younger siblings. So she was born in the estate with her parents and everything there. And then she grew up on the Waffner estate until the fire hit that caused Alex to go missing when Jessica would have been 5, turning 6. And so when that happened, her father and her were the only ones who survived because they were off in town at the time when the fire hit. And so Jessica was then moved into the castle while Jerome was busy dealing with Emeric and all the things he had to handle as general. Ginevra took Jessica into the castle and helped make sure that she was taught proper skills for being a lady in that, because as the daughter of the general, she was unwilling to let her go to extended family. She said, no, we are going to make sure that this girl turns out the way that her mother would have wanted her to. And so Ginevra took it upon herself to make sure Jessica turned out to be a proper Dayton lady, as was expected by the Waffner family. So she grew up in the castle, and her favorite food is krepfchen, which is a fried pastry dough filled with very sweet or savory fillings, which clearly, growing up in the castle, she had access to all of the best food, and so her tastes tend to border a little more on the fancier side of things. And her least favorite thing in the world is dishonorable people, which is a very common trait of Dayton people. They see dishonor as the worst crime you can commit, so she hates anyone who's dishonorable. When she grew up in the castle, like when she grew up at home, she played with her siblings and, got bossed around by her older brother and took care of her younger siblings as well to help her mother out. When she was in the castle, she had a lot more freedom, where Ginevra would teach her lessons, and they had some governesses or tutors who came in and taught her specific things that Ginevra either wasn't aware of because she's from Warren, or she just needed some help to handle some of the tasks that she was weaker in. And give Ginevra a break. She didn't want to spend all day having to teach this girl. But when she grew up in there, she also had a lot of time to play with Aaron, because it was them and a handful of other high-ranking knight children, like the Avery son, Caleb, and that kind of thing. So they often spent a lot of time playing together. So Jessica and Aaron are very close, which you find out quite quickly in the book, where it's never been an intimate, like, that kind of a closeness. They've just always been friends, but they were always bugging each other. And so they are very close, and they know each other very deeply, so they can tell when something is off with the other person. But it was never romantic in any way, shape, or form, because Jessica had no interest in Aaron. When you've seen somebody that close and intimately, there is no interest. It's the same with Alex and Stefan. They have seen the worst of each other, and so people are like, oh, is there romance? No. Mm-mm. Like, I've seen that guy with his head in a bucket. I've seen him with food poisoning. You just know too much. You can know too much about a person to ever want to be in a relationship with them. It's very much Jessica and Aaron, and very much Alex and Stefan and Michael. They just know way too much about each other. It'll never happen. But Jessica's favorite childhood activities were playing with Aaron in the castle and learning needlework. It was one of the things she excelled at very, very quickly. And so when you ask her what her choice of weapon would be, her response is typically daddy. If she ever needs to fight someone, she just goes against her daddy. That's all she needs. General Waffner is going to scare the pants off whoever is bothering his daughter. But her secret skill is that she actually does know how to fight. She is a general's daughter. She was taught how to fight, how to wield a sword. She prefers not to use it because, she's a proper lady. But if it came down to it, she could handle herself, which she does in book 1 more than once when things start to go wrong with the castle, with poor Alex being around. And who she takes after, she is a combination of her father and her mother in a speech and appearance and her mannerisms, but she also takes a little bit after Queen Ginevra because of the fact that Ginevra raised her for so long. So the way Ginevra holds herself and sits and the way she thinks things through, and that is very much habits and things that Jessica has taken on. But she does have her father's ability to read people. where the general can meet somebody and immediately know whether or not they're friend or foe. And Jessica's inherited that ability from her dad, and it comes in very, very handy. And so when asked who or what she is looking for in a partner, she says she needs somebody who is brave and kind. Like Lady Edith, she wants someone who exhibits the qualities that she admires in her father, bravery and kindness, and who can live up to the honor that is expected for someone to fit in with the Dayton Knights. And that, knowing her father is a general, she has very high expectations of the man that she eventually ends up with. She expects him to be honorable and brave and be approved by her father. So we'll see whether or not she finds herself one of those men in the series. So that is all about Lady Jessica. If you have any questions, please let me know. Yes, she is very much like her brother. Yes, they have similarities in that there is a Waffner glare that Jerome, Jessica, and Stefan will all do on regular occasions, and it's enough to send a chill through anybody's heart because it is terrifying, and they all three can do it nobody's business. So, yeah, that is Lady Jessica. If you have any questions, make sure you drop them in the comments. And next week, we'll dive into some of the more grown-up characters in the book, so the parents and the older generation of people. I don't have photos of all of them. Like, I don't have artwork made of all of them, but I will come up with some image of what, in my head, I think that this person would look like. So, have a great day, guys, and happy reading.